Good morning, David Paul here. I'm here at the Rojas family residence in central Tallycoot Island, where I'm now living. So, what I've done is basically I'm paying all the bills here, so then nobody's got any complaint about anything. And strangely enough, I'm actually saving more money by paying all the bills, everything, living here, than I would do if I was living in that hole in the ground there in my dugout house. I think somebody's like shouting to me. No, they're not. Anyway, what's this about? So, how's the job going on on not well? It is a sort of cabin. Initially, it's a cabin, and then it becomes a wider house. It's what I call a dispersed house. It's broken up into pieces. So you build one thing, and then you build another thing, like a series of cabins, each serving a different purpose. So, what's this about? Well, one of the things is that you get guys to cut your wood using a chainsaw. You throw it out in the sun, it dries, and it's not straight. And you want straight-edged wood for particular things. You might want to make a door frame or something. And I want to be the boss of the thing, you know. I don't want to be like make every damn thing rustic looking, just because I have to, because I'm forced to by the fact that I can't buy store-bought wood, which is straight. So what you need is you need to be able to cut straight lines, and you need to be able to flatten surfaces so that they are, not only is there an edge which is flat, all the surfaces are also flat. So you can say make a length of 2x2 or 3x3, which is all flat. So what this is a saw track. This is not a track saw. The track saw is a thing that's specially made to cut in straight lines. But what's unsatisfactory about that is that the length of track saws is limited, and also you have to assemble them from bits and pieces. And I've tried it, and they wander out, and the pieces come to bits, and they get out of line and all sorts. If you got everything working great for you, they're great for a while. So what you need to do is you need to make one of these babies. Now, this morning, you get a sheet of ply, and you cut the edge off. You know that one edge of the sheet of ply is straight because it was cut at the factory. So you take that to be true. And then you take the other edge, and you take that to be true. So that's the other edge. So that's the true edge, and that's the true edge. And these two will face each other. Okay. So what I got to do is I've got to simultaneously cut pieces of wood using a circular saw. This DeWalt Hans cordless saw, and or a powered saw, but I didn't bring that with me, so I've got to constrain myself to this. And also, if I'm up at Scotland working there, I need cordless tools up there. I have the ability to drill holes in wood, and I have the ability to route things. Okay, so this here router, there are numerous ways I can go about this, and I haven't yet decided. But this router, as you can see, I've got an 1/8 inch spiral upcut router piece in there. And what I can do with that is I can cut along, if I put it in there, and follow this track. Then I can cut perfectly straight lines with it. And I can use that perfectly straight line as a guide for just freehand cutting with the circular saw. So I've got the most perfect line to follow. I can do that, which gives me a face on the thing, which is 65 millimeters deep, something like that. You know, 2.5 inches or 3 deep on that saw. So I can now cut strips of wood as a result of doing all that, which are about, say, 3 inches wide, right? And I could even attack them from the other side and cut them in both directions and match them up and end up with 6-inch wide planks. That would be nice, but let's not push our luck here. The smaller you make pieces of wood, the easier they are to manipulate and hold in place so that they don't warp out of true and so on. The big bits develop huge internal strains as a result of, expansion and contraction from moisture. So if you can work with slim bits of wood, all the better. So that's that. So in addition to that, I didn't bring it, I wish I had done so, but I'm not going to run off in the middle of the video to do it. There's a planer bit which is about 2 inches wide, which it's called a leveling bit. So that's basically like a sort of fan-like shape of 3 cutters which rotate, and as you move along they flatten the surface below at what height you set it at, and you make a pass and you end up with a perfect strip 2 inches wide, which is great. But then if you jump to the other side of the track, you can make the same pass but joining up. So if you can imagine, you've got a 2-inch leveled area there at the bottom underneath this. Now you can do it again and you get another 2-inch, but they're automatically going to line up because you never moved anything. You didn't unfasten anything and move them apart and stuff. So I've now got a board which is a piece of wood which is 4-inch wide, which has a perfect surface on it. And that then allows me the possibility of cutting the next face perpendicular to that and turning around and cutting the next face perpendicular to that. The third face, which is on the back, is irrelevant. Why is that? Because that is enclosed, it's not seen, so it doesn't matter how the hell that one goes. It can even have bark on it or all sorts. All you have to do is where it passes a beam or strut or something which it is going to be connected to, at that point it has to be a decided thickness even through there, so you can connect it across. Say, I don't know, if it was a floorboard, for example, the fact that the floorboards are irregular is desirable because it's extra meat, makes the floorboard stiffer. But you do want where it meets the beam to be parallel, of an even thickness at each time you meet the beam. So you're going to have to be able to cut across doing that, and I'll be able to do that. Place it in place and it'll lie flat perfectly. So the plan is that I'm going to be cutting lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of stick-like things, which will clad the outer side of the initial cabin, the house, and that's it. And then I will be doing a thing called Shoshugi Ban, where you burn the wood so as to make it termite proof and insect proof and everything proof of what wants to attack it, because initially they go up and they say, oh, this didn't taste right, and they're not interested. They've got to get beyond that layer. I'm not going to go crazy with the Shoshugi Ban though. I'm not going to be having this alligator bark effect that you see on the internet. I'm just going to char the wood and possibly even apply charcoal to darken it. Okay, so that's that. So we have the option of running up and down with this cutter here. If I'm at the house here where I have mains electricity, I've got this DeWalt cutter here. To be honest, this is, I can't fault it. It does a good job, but it's a bit of a beast to handle. I really rather like this elegant little router here. This thing, it's just so chunky to handle and heavy and everything, and tends to foul a bit on the bed, so that you can jump off. You've got to be very careful as you're moving, but it's okay. So as you can see, the router has got one side is rounded here, and the other side has this cut off section which allows you to follow a straight edge. Okay, that's good. And if you're dancing around a curved structure, you can just do it like that and just follow the curved thing. Because it's a set radius, it wouldn't matter if this was wandering out the tube. Okay, but the consequence of that is that the center, this is the center of that is at the center of a circle, but not the same distance from here to there as it is on the other side. Okay, there to there, the center to there, and then the center to there are not the same. So this gives us an opportunity, and I have to measure this up with the router bit, maybe even do a test cut. What it allows us is to run between the tracks. I'll put another track on. These steel things are here just to, I put glue on this, and they're here to just hold it true while it glues up. So this will fit in this track like this, and I will ride up and down like that. So I'll go up and down this track, machining that flat face. But of course, if I then turn the bit around the other way, I end up with two passes because this is off center and it's now over there. So I'm going to measure what opportunity that opens up for me. I make two passes, and it's going to work, you know, it's going to work. So we do that, or we use this one, as we say here, hindi ko pa alam. I don't know yet, I haven't decided. And that's it. So that's it for now. If you want to make one of these, right, in the Philippines, you want to make one, nice butterfly, just flew in the house. If you want to make one of these in the Philippines, here's a bit of advice. Don't do what I did. First of all, my intention was to fix angle iron to make it stiffer. So this is under consideration as to whether I attach this angle iron. But, you know, I must have been in a tight mood or something. It was 350 pesos, which is only about £5 for the thicker one. And what am I going to do? I'm going to buy the thinner one. Buy the thicker one. If I'd have bought the one which is twice as thick, as I've said in previous videos, that's 8 times the stiffness. It's necessary for this gadget to be true in that plane. It mustn't like bend around like that. And it also has to be true in this plane, so it's not, you know, it's not cut and curved. You think it's a straight line, but it's not, it's curved. Or you think it's a true surface, but it's not, it's doing this, you know. Or another problem, which is if it's sort of twisted like a screw sort of way, torsionally, then you're going to be making a curved surface that runs like that. So you're creating your own hell there. So you don't want to be doing that. Now, I am pedantic about this, and I probably shouldn't be, because you got to bear in mind that wood is not going to remain stable like metal. It is going to drift about and move. So things are not going to be perfectly dimensionally stable. And when you nail a plank on a wall, you're defining the straight line that it's going to follow, because you can take a plank of wood and it'll bend and flap around, you know, till you nail it on the wall. So basically, I do think I'm possibly being overly fussy, but I don't want to make a mess of it. About the plywood, I was talking to the girl in the shop, very helpful girl, and I'm asking about the prices, marine ply and so on. I want marine ply. Marine ply is the best thing. And so I was offered 12mm marine ply, and I said, oh, what about this stuff? And that stuff is it's 18mm. I thought, oh great, 18mm marine ply. How much is that? 900 pesos. Wow, man. I think I even mentioned it in a previous video. And then I get it home and I discover I cut a piece off and it cracked here in the middle. And I discover that it's not marine ply. You got to be very careful talking to Filipinos, that the Filipino understands, or any foreign person who's foreign to you, that they understand what it is that you're talking about, and you're both talking about the same thing. Because in that second of moving from one piece of wood to the other, she just responded, oh, the guy's interested in that, right, okay, tell him the price. But she didn't say, that's not marine ply. So it's kind of my fault, you know. But as a consequence, I've made up a device here which is not to the standard that I wanted, because in time, in this climate, this stuff will start to delaminate. But to hell with it, I've done it now, and I got to get this one job done. And anyway, you never make a gadget perfect the first time. I have some improvement ideas already. So I think next time it's going to be the 12mm marine ply with the thicker grade angle iron, reinforced to hell. Okay. Atilago, makita tayo sa kana. See you later. Jesus be with you.